Welcome to Homestead Reptile, and today I'm going to be doing some Christmassy themed episodes. I'm going to try to put out a episode a day, 12 days of geckos, Christmas. So I want to talk to you guys about Tangerine and some aspects I really love about it, the evolution of this gene and its comparison to Tangerine in leopard geckos. So when I first got started out in the hobby, reptile hobby, I kept leopard geckos. I still have a leopard gecko today. She's 17. My oldest leopard gecko passed away she was almost going to turn 25, but didn't quite make it. So, old girl, recently passed away. But I love my reptiles. I love my leopard geckos, and I'm just more passionate about crested geckos just because their genetics are a little bit more fun to me, and it's easier for me to keep them in a large numbers of them than it will ever be to keep leopard geckos. So I absolutely love Tangerine. I'm showing off her little tangerine belly. So she wants to give me a good nip. She's not happy. She does not like me touching her very often, but they just have such a unique little color. It's so pretty, and they're not even looking their best right now. So I'm going to pop some photos and videos up here to show you what they truly look like in natural daylight, fully fired up. They did not want to cooperate with me at all. So the difference between Tangerine and leopard geckos versus Tangerine and crested geckos. So Tangerine and crested geckos seems to make more, the infusion of the color is a little bit different. So unlike in leopard geckos, we don't have crested geckos have that can have white coloration, can have white pinstriping, partial pinstriping, or just white in that color. They have like different coloration and different pattern. So Tangerine and crested geckos will infuse that white patterning, either making it a bright like highlighter, looks photoshopped, airbrushed, bright yellow, neon yellow, or bright orange. It can also make it a pinkish color, and it really depends on the base color. So black base, you're normally not going to get a pink color, even if it has white pinning or white pattern. You more likely will get that pinkish color if it is a light base, so yellow or red with white coloration. So that's normally when you get that pink coloration. So I currently do not have any pinky tangerines. I normally just have the salad color tangerines or black base tangerines with pinning. But if I paired that tangerine with that pinning to a light-based tangerine and I get offspring that are light-based, yellows, I am more likely to get that pinker tangerine. And you can selectively breed for a pinker and pinker hue, for a orangier and orangier hue, or a yellower, highlighted orangey hue, depending on where you want to go. And then the combinations are endless. Lily white tangerines. So I think tangerine and crested geckos are going to go far if people pay attention to it more and really start breeding it and working it to other projects. I think it will go further than Tangerine and leopard geckos, but these are two different species, and this is kind of just a theory, but what I have seen that has come up in tangerines, the tangerine lily whites, my god, they are amazing. The tangerine red with the white pattern, they are gorgeous. They look like soft served ice cream, or not ice cream, sherbet. If you've ever had sherbet as a kid, if you're lactose intolerant and you had sherbet instead of ice cream, they remind me of a strawberry sherbet with a lemon, or they're just gorgeous. They're beautiful, and I don't see a lot of red tangerine. So that's something else I really want to work with. So I have a lily white male that will eventually be paired to this lovely little female tangerine tiger girl. Later down the road, she's definitely not ready. She's still quite small, as you can see. But maybe in the future, probably in 2025. 2025, she'll be old enough. And she should be big enough by then. He'll definitely be more than big enough by then. But future plans, I'm excited about it. And we don't need to rush with projects. At least I don't feel you need to rush with anything. Grow your geckos out, enjoy them, and think about projects. They can always change. She could end up being a boy. She's 16 grams at this point, and I haven't seen any visible pores, so I'm crossing my fingers. I continue not to see any visible pores, but I've had sneaky geckos just decide, you know, one day I am a boy and your plans are not going to work for me. But they're amazing. I love the different color you can get into it. And I'm going to treat Tangerine, at least for my projects, kind of like stacking. So I'm going to be stacking Tangerine to Tangerine to Tangerine. And I'll do a few outcrosses like Tangerine, and I want to add more of a yellow base. Tangerine, and I want to add more white. Tangerine with this pattern or that pattern and this pattern. But I want to try to keep Tangerine to Tangerine and not do as too many outcrosses. Since there are a decent number of Tangerines out there, I'm not going to have to worry about possible inbreeding. That's something that you should worry about to a certain degree, but reptiles are very different from mammals. But I'm not going to be going into the whole inbreeding thing. But I'm not going to be doing that, so it doesn't matter. But like I said, there's so many projects. I love the way it looks on white patterning. They're just so gorgeous, so pretty. And this is a very lovely Boba Tea right here. He is a fantastic Tangerine Tiger ink spot. Maybe Super Dalmatian. I can never quite tell. Sometimes I think he might be a Super Dalmatian, and sometimes I think maybe you're just a really nice Dalmatian. I can't quite tell. I think he's on... I don't know. I don't like to say something's a Super Dalmatian if I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to say he's a fantastic ink spot Dalmatian. Tangerine. But I think he's going to work in some amazing projects. And I'm doing a whole project just for him because he's just so awesome to me. And this is a case of where I would suggest people breed what they love, because you're going to be stuck caring for that particular gecko for the next how many years it lives. And a healthy crested gecko can live in its 20s. You're going to be stuck with those babies if they don't sell, which I don't think his babies won't sell eventually, especially paired to the right females. I think I'll be able to move his babies later down in the future. But do something you love. Don't just follow a trend. And it's not like there's a Tangerine trend right now. They're, like I said, they're kind of underrated. I absolutely love them. And I'm just showing you guys some amazing geckos that you might want to work with later in the future. You might want to think about. Tangerines are awesome. I'm personally liking them a little bit more than certain newer morphs that are coming out. There's, I love cappuccinos. I wouldn't say I like cappuccinos more than Tangerine or Tangerine more than cappuccinos, but I like my Tangerines more than a lot of new morphs that are coming out.